Hi, how is everybody doing today? I hope everybody's doing wonderfully. I want to say this is the video of the week, but we're looking basically at, a specific section that we looked at in section 2, and I wanted section 1 to have this. And I also wanted people from section 2 to look at it again, go like, oh, okay, we do this. The video for this week was supposed to actually be talking about bias, but because we've been having a lot of issues with the internet, and those are going to be solved because generator is almost there. Yay. I wanted all of us to actually think about claim, evidence, explanation of evidence. We've had issues with this in most of the revisions. So, of course, we have to prepare perfect papers for the portfolio. So we need to work on that. And I'm going to be showing you one of the things that, I've been playing around with. One of the paragraphs that we have in our class. Now, this paragraph, you're going to be looking at it and it's going to be, really interesting for you to see it. But this paragraph is from a perfect paper, basically. It's one of the best papers that I've read in the 2 courses that I am teaching at this point in time, the 2 sections that I'm teaching. So I want you to take your time and for a minute or so, read this essay, read this section, and then we will discuss the revisions that I made on this text so that we could actually have the claim, evidence, explanation of evidence work beautifully for this. So I'm going to be reading silently so that all of you can actually take your time and do it too. I've already gotten permission for the group to actually show this paperwork, their ideas, not mine at all. So please start reading. Yeah, and I just read the first paragraph and I wanted to remark, please look at this point in time at this section. Okay, right there we have, and I'm gonna actually highlight it so that everybody's like, oh, okay. So we have this particular section, which is extremely important. Notice, please, how the students are actually introducing themselves. They're talking about their experience when they're into college level writing, what they need to do, how they need to figure out how to use reliable information for, purposes that are obvious. We need to actually be good writers who know how to identify good research. So immediately we have those sentences over here, which are really framing what is going on. For a long time, we always rely on sources such as Wikipedia for information, but we need to look deeper to find new information that relates to our changing world. So that is the perfect claim, because it actually includes the perspective of the writers right here. Now, this claim is going to obviously change. The students are going to revise that because we need to revise the paragraph, and that's going to actually include some of the topics, all of the topics actually of the paragraph. So keep that in mind. Now look at the second section. Okay, I'm going to comment on this right away. You will be able to read it with me. Right here we have the articles Annoying Ways People Use Sources by Kyle D. Stedman and Walk, Talk and Cook and Eat. A Guide to Using Sources by Cynthia R. Haller. Both focus on the correct and incorrect ways to use and incorporate sources into writing through the use of metaphors. That is an excellent claim for a summary. It's a claim of fact, basically, stating what the articles do. That's it. And we do not need that kind of claim in any of the paragraphs that we have. We're not doing that. What we're doing right now is actually using evaluation, just like we're doing it here. Notice that this is a claim of value, okay? The moment we say a key part of this is figuring out, that's an evaluation on our part, okay? And then, but we need to look deeper to find new information that relates, again, claim of value right there. Though the sentences over here, they structure everything as a claim of value. The sentences over here, well, the sentence, actually, claim of fact, right there. We do not need that. That leads to a summary. So that shouldn't be there. Then we look at what is going on in the paragraph, and you will be able to actually read it, okay? So we talked about metaphors. Okay, that works. And then we're looking at statement also, who also has metaphors. So we're going, okay, there's a topic there. Why is that topic not being mentioned? They will do it, you know, in the revision. And look, the metaphors, again, help us as readers to understand more clearly what is expected of us. So this is working. Now, we have evidence at this point in time. And I'm going, yep. Okay, this works. Now, notice the effort that the students are actually doing to talk about the most important points of Haller. And then they analyze everything that Haller is saying. Now, when we use claim, evidence, explanation of evidence, the evidence has to be included in one specific section. This is not happening in this paragraph. Because after that explanation that we have highlighted over here, we have statement. And then we have over here a definition, not a definition, a quotation of statement. Notice that this is basically a mini claim over here. Something that is working in order to tell us we're moving here. And I'm like, no, that's not the way we do these paragraphs. We do claim, evidence, explanation of evidence, put all the evidence together. And of course, we have evidence here too. And that's like, nope, that doesn't work. And then we have, similar to cooking the armadillo roadkill, that is very important because we are thinking over here about the potential. I want everybody to look at this. Well, we can do shading. I want everybody to look at this and notice how this particular, sentence over here, it's basically establishing the connection between article number 1, Haller, and article number 2, okay, which is statements. So we have that. And then we have more evidence over here, even though we have explanation of evidence from the previous section over here. Oop, sorry about that. And then we have this particular section, which is explanation 2. And I'm going, okay, that works. And over here we have a word missing. Now, notice how we're doing this. We're changing it. This is the revised version of the paragraph. And I was the one who rearranged it. That's perfectly okay. As I said in the second class that we have, in the second section, the authors can use absolutely everything from this paragraph because I am just rearranging what they have. I am not actually working on adding ideas. That's not what we're doing. So notice, please, there we go. And that's the claim. As students, it is our job to learn and grow into college level writers. And a key part of this process is figuring out how to use reliable information to support our arguments. Notice, please, how the articles are actually introduced. We have Cal D statements, annoying ways people use sources. I'm using quotation marks to show that those are articles. I don't need to say that they're articles. I know they are the moment I actually see those quotation marks over there. And of course, then I'm looking at the metaphors which have been consistently mentioned throughout the whole paragraph, the original one. Okay? And then while Haller uses metaphors from our everyday lives, Stedman metaphorically compares sloppy writing to slow driving. Either you don't know the rules or you're ignoring them. And that's mentioned in basically almost all the topics of the paragraph. We're still dealing with implications, which I am pushing the students to actually work on at the end. Now, notice please that we have evidence right away. Okay? And then we have more evidence. And I am mentioning going like, come on, this one, this one, this one. You mentioned this one. Put it in. Okay? And then we go to Stedman right away. We do not comment on the previous evidence, the piece of evidence number 1 related to Haller, article 1, but we go into Stedman right away. And I am asking them to play around with these, you know, so that they can have the open space to work on the paragraph themselves. Now, notice that I am still talking about Stedman. Stedman again over here. And then we talk about how they relate to each other. Like Haller, when she introduces the cooking metaphor, Stedman introduces the armadillo roadkill one to explain blending. Both authors emphasize that seamlessly integrating our sources is necessary to structure a cohesive paragraph. Notice what the people are doing here. The students, the writers are doing. They are talking about how the articles intersect or differ from each other. So they step away from each other, they intersect. They step away from each other, they intersect. Notice what has happened over here. Okay? Nevertheless, Stedman expands. Again, look. Yeah, this is how they're different. This is how they actually step away from each other. These metaphors help us as readers to understand more clearly what is expected of us. That's when we basically go into the implications of what we are talking about. We agree that the sources we choose must connect with each other to flow with the argument. Otherwise, we lose the reader because our writing can become dense. Following the do's and don'ts of these two sources alone has given us, as entry-level college writers, a better idea of what our writing process needs to look like. And then, of course, I go and ask the question, how? Tell us what the potential pitfall is here. You mentioned having a dense text. Explain how that works. So you see how we have a paragraph that is full of very rich, very interesting ideas, and we just need to rearrange it into the claim, evidence, explanation of evidence so that we can have a consistent pattern, okay? A consistent pattern that will actually guide the reader through each paragraph. The moment the reader looks at those first sentences over there, yeah, I know what this is going to be about. Now, of course, here I'm going to be talking specifically as if I were a member of the group. I would actually turn around and say, yeah, what are the implications? But those cannot be included yet because the students are still working on those right here at this point in time. Okay? So this is part of what we're doing when it comes to the revision. I want everybody to think clearly about how we are revising this paper for our final portfolio. Okay? So that means claim, evidence, explanation of evidence must happen so that we can actually show a perfect portfolio. Now, this is the short video of the week. It was going to be about another topic, but this was urgent. So I wanted to make that modification. Thank you all for understanding that electricity is evil sometimes over here. And that even though I had an option and I was working with my laptop, there were problems there going on too. And I am extremely happy that I'm getting the generator. Thank you for understanding that sometimes teaching is not as easy as it should be. Whether you're in the United States or not. I mean, things happen everywhere. So thank you so much and have a wonderful weekend. And remember, you need to react to this video. 1 comment, 2 comments, 1 question, 2 questions, nothing else. I'm going to actually be working on grading for the next 2 days so that all of us are right on time, so everything is up to date. So I'll be having afternoon office hours today, extraordinary ones for people who need to come and see me. And that means people who have not had a meeting with me or people that I have requested a meeting with. So please, 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 please come and see me. Take care. Bye.